Well, now it's time to loot with an non-stop day. It's safe to say we'll have some fun today on Geek World Radio.
We're here at IndieCade 2012 at the center of Culver City, checking out some of the great indie games that are inside.
We're at the Firehouse right now. This is where a lot of the really cool games are. There's lots of people bunched in there. It's crazy time. What do you think about IndieCade?
Well, this year it's definitely, I don't know, it feels like there's a lot more games.
Yes.
And definitely a lot more people are here this year. I guess people heard how cool it was.
Yes, exactly. So, we played a bunch of these games and we really liked a bunch of them. Mm-hmm. But we also did some interviews with some of the developers of these games.
Yeah.
So first off, I think we should go to this really cool puzzle game we played called Splice.
Yeah.
Which is basically about, you can basically be like a mad scientist making dren and stuff like that.
It's a science-themed game, but there's no actual science involved.
That's what they claim, but you know what I think? I think it's all like boys from Brazil, like geneticist stuff going on
They're
here.
using us to create monsters.
Yeah, exactly. And, hey, that's cool.
So first, tell us a little bit about Splice.
Splice is a gene splicing puzzle game that is... It seems very scientific, but has no actual science in it. It's just science-y. We're trying to give you the feeling of being a scientist, kind of working in a lab, looking through a microscope and moving around microbes. You're just trying to take a strand of cells and match a pattern in the background according to the rules of the game.
What would you say to people that want to get into creating indie games? Like, is it really difficult?
I would say to shut up and do it. It's like... There's never going to be a right time to start making the game. So just get in there. There's all sorts of resources that you have. Like, for instance, we use Unity to make Splice. And we have the pro version, which costs money, but you can get it for free if you make under a certain amount of money. Right. So you can get in there. You have access to multi-platform support. There's a huge community online. There's events like IndieCade. There's the IGDA. There's a big community there to help you.
So where can people find Splice?
Splice is available on Steam for $10 on Mac PC. It is on the iPad for $4, and we just released on the Mac App Store for $10.
We're at IndieCade 2012, and this is Frogger.
So Anime, we played a lot of fun games here. We got a little passport, and we get stamps for each game, which is neat. But Anime, tell me, what are some of the favorite games you've played so far?
I really enjoyed the game Bloop, where a bunch of you are all together, like 4 players, and you're a different color, and you try and like stick your fingers in and use as many fingers as you can to try and get your colors, but you can get the most of your color to leave, and it's kind of a race, and it's crazy.
It's an aggressive game, though, isn't
really
it?
is,
like you got to be careful.
I feel like you would break your screen.
Yeah, or if you're playing with people with nails, it's dangerous. You can hurt your little fingers.
That could be strategy.
Exactly, it's true, very true. All right, so
what about you?
One of the games I really liked was a game called Open Source. That was basically Pawn with your ears. Now, that sounds kind of weird. They use the Kinect, and basically you are the paddle in Pawn. And the way that it works is you look at the other player, right? You're standing across from them. But what is happening is that when the ball comes towards you, you have these earphones on, and if the ball's coming towards the left, you can hear it strongly on your left-hand side, and you're basically trying to center the pan of the volume so you know that you'll be where the ball is.
Yeah. For those of you who are like me and can't localize sound, this is not the game for you.
Yes, it can be very difficult, and that's probably why I loved it so much, because I thoroughly throttled Anime.
Yes.
Which is, I think, why I liked it so much.
I can see that. So, another one of the great games we played is called Hidden in Plain Sight.
Yeah.
I've got a couple words for you, and this should say it all. Knights versus ninjas.
Yeah! Basically, it's a whole room full of people, and you got 4 players. You need to kind of go around and try to kill people without people knowing that you're actually, a person, a player, not a non-playable character.
Mm-hmm. They spend all this time trying to make games very human-like, make characters in games to mimic humans.
Yes.
So you can't tell the difference. Well, this is the exact opposite. You have to then mimic computers. You have to mimic games.
It's crazy, but you know what? The thing is, we can't really explain it as well as the creator of the game, who we interviewed. Okay, so we are here with Adam Sprague, the creator of Hidden in Plain Sight. What was the inspiration for this game?
So this game is about characters trying to hide in with computer-controlled characters. The main inspiration was when I read about Spy Party, which was another indie game in development, and that had the theme of hiding in with computer-controlled characters. And so what I tried to do is take that idea, and there's a lot of other games that have that same kind of genre, hidden role sort of genre. I tried to distill that idea down and come up with a couple different gameplay modes that accentuated that gameplay.
You have a lot of different really cool modes that I really enjoy. There's also this great mode where you have like one bullet and you're trying to move, but you can only shoot one person. Tell us about that.
Right, so that was sort of a thought experiment I had one night. It's called Death Race. Players are involved in a race along with computer-controlled characters. Nobody knows who the actual human players are. And so they're trying to get from the left side of the screen to the right side of the screen, but they have a gun with one bullet in it. And so you want to win the race, and so you want to go towards the finish line, but you also will get shot if you go too far ahead. And so it's all about jockeying for position. The game gets really, really tense, and then somebody makes a break for it, and there's a shot, and then somebody else runs, and it sort of all unfolds from there.
So how did you develop the AI so that you could really fool people into thinking that they could in fact be one of the other real-life players?
That's a good question. The AI is actually really kind of dumb. It just sort of, it works in very repetitive ways. It's a little bit random, but they're very regular. They walk in sort of regular sorts of ways. And so that gives the opportunity for the player. They don't have to work very hard to replicate an AI. They can just follow the pattern of what the AI is doing. And if they deviate from that, they run the risk of exposing themselves as a player character and then put themselves at risk for being eliminated from the game. So I wanted to make the AIs, simple but effective.
And where can people find this game?
Sure, this is on the Xbox Live Indie Games channel. It's for 80 points, and you can download it from there.
Yeah, I honestly really love this game. This might have been one of my favorite games here.
Yeah, I had a really good time playing it. It was super fun. We're at IndieCade 2012. Now it's time to watch grown men hit each other on the head.
What do we got next?
Okay, so have you ever thought to yourself, video games and DARPA? Well, Prom Week combines them both. I'm just going to leave it at that, and let's actually just go on to our discussion with one of the makers of the game. Okay, so we're here with Josh McCoy to talk a little bit about Prom Week. So first, tell everyone what Prom Week is.
So Prom Week is a procedural narrative style game where you play the social lives of a high school character. We have 18 high school characters, and you get to help them through socially in their social world that is part of this crazy AI system interactive narrative to achieve their prom goals.
So I heard you mentioning about DARPA before.
Yeah.
What exactly? How does the game and DARPA? Where do they come together?
So this is interesting. So the AI system is separate from the game. They were developed in tandem. The game was used to develop the AI system. So the AI system is comme il faut, or SIF for short. It's French for as it should be. It has Victorian-era connotations of following the rules of the day, following social rules that are in front of you. And that's what the system does. If we developed a game, we could look and be like, oh, how could we improve this? We would take those back to the AI system, improve it, and then that in turn would open up new game mechanic options for us. And so we continuously did this cycle of refinement between the two. That made the AI system robust enough that we could use it for other projects. That leads us to the final project this is being used for, which is the DARPA project, the Project Immerse, which is this, I think it's over $20 million budget over many institutions. And what this project does is it's aimed at being a full 3D training simulation for, I believe it's the Marines, Navy, and Army. to teach them good cultural behavior, good stranger behavior. Basically, what you should have learned in kindergarten on how to react with people and how to respect cross-cultural differences. And how a trainee interacts with this is through a Connect, along with a high-res camera, along with vocal analysis, so speech recognition. So you are not touching a controller. You are in front, doing all of your cultural gestures, saying hi, greeting, taking IDs in this checkpointing scenario, giving IDs. We are doing the social reasoning component behind all those. What are the social norms for this space? What if you do something that breaks someone's social expectations? How will they react? How will they respond? And that's what the AI system takes care of. And that is how Prom Week, a social high school dating simulation, relates to a DARPA project.
So how can people find this or get it?
PromWeekGame.com.
Okay.
And it is available for free. It's a flash game, and it is playable on Facebook and Congregate.
It's IndieCade 2012 Nighttime Edition.
Deep into the night at IndieCade 2012, a battle rages on for pelvis supremacy.
So, we had a great time here. What are some of your closing thoughts about IndieCade 2012?
I think I just want to tell anyone who's thinking about developing indie games that you really should just go ahead and try it. There are places like IndieCade here that you'll be able to showcase what you've made. And, you know, some of the games are the most simplistic kind of like a box, a square, you know.
Yeah.
And some of them are really complex. And, you know, it doesn't matter. Some of the best ones are some of the simplest.
All right, so Anime, I'm going to talk about some of the games I liked and some of the games I didn't like.
Okay.
You can chime in. Okay, Cart Life. What was that about?
That was depressing. It was like Oregon Trail. Remember playing the old Oregon Trail? Yeah, it was like that, except, you know, you're like a divorcee and you don't want to lose custody of your kid. It was like an Oregon Trail when, like, you know, your wife died of consumption and your kids like drowned.
Yeah, imagine Over the Top if it was starring a girl and wasn't about arm wrestling but owning your own coffee cart.
Yeah.
So that you can keep custody of your kid. So there's this game called Dyad that I really like too. It's basically just sort of like, I don't know, I feel like we're going through wormholes and we're collecting stuff. And, you know, when you collect, like, you're trying to get pairs of colors, and you get pairs of colors, like, new, like, different music appears. And, you know, I was playing it, and I was like, I bet an autistic kid would be good at this. And then, of course, I did really well at it, so.
It's one of those games that can be really addictive because, you know, there's obviously consequence in it, but it's not much. It's mostly just kind of a fun like process.
That's it for IndieCade. We had a great time this year, and I think we'll definitely be back next year. Let us know if you guys got to play IndieCade or some of your favorite independent video games.
Yeah.
Other than that, we had a great time. Where can they find more about us, Anime?
Check out our website, geekworldradio.com. And send us an email to geekworldradio@yahoo.com.
And also listen to our radio show every week on Indie 100 and The Point. And other than that, we had a great time. See you guys next week.
Well, now it's time to loot with an non-stop day. It's safe to say we'll have some fun today on Geek World Radio.